A really good scoring game for you tonight, and the first quarter especially, the whole team really just seemed to come out firing. How do you personally get in your headspace to where you know you're gonna shoot the ball well?
Just kind of feed out the energy of the game and how it's going. I feel like as long as I find my spots and kind of be where I'm supposed to be based on the spacing of the floor, obviously I just stick to my game, but to the point where I just try to fill in the gaps based on where my teammates are.
And then obviously 3 All-Stars on this team, but also when you add in Alyssa, this is a very young team, but a good young team.
Yeah.
I think there was 3 people tonight with 20-plus points, 3 with double-doubles. What does it say about this team where you guys are all able to perform so well, even with being so young?
I think that we're limitless. I think that the youth in us can kind of keep us going. And the maturity behind our youth is underrated. These guys, it's not their first rodeo, even though they're rookies, even though they're young players. You can tell they have the maturity level to kind of stay resilient and battle down a stretch of games. And so I can appreciate that, especially with a quote-unquote young team, because like I said, the chemistry that we have and we're developing now, you can't tell that we're young. We're just trying to figure it out day by day, but the youth has less to do with it. These guys they've established a pro for sure.
Go Matt and Chloe.
Yeah, Caitlin, you were threading the needle a lot tonight, to Kelsey, to Aaliyah. Was there something just different about your game tonight being a point guard in a good way?
I thought we just came out and played really aggressive. I think that was, kind of our mission from the jump is come out and attack, and that's what we did for 3 quarters. I thought our 4th quarter was a bit disappointing, but it's hard to attack and transition when you can't stop the ball. We didn't get stops on defense, but overall, I thought we played 3 quarters of really good basketball, especially offensively, and then 2 good quarters in the first half, especially on defense.
So Chloe's and Dion back right.
Yeah, Kelsey, I kind of wanted to ask you the other side of that, just what was working between you and Caitlin for you to be able to grab those balls and get those easy buckets?
The one thing I can appreciate about Caitlin is her vision and her ability to kind of get the ball up the floor. You don't see it a lot, and so I can appreciate it because I can utilize what I'm kind of decent at, and that's running. So if I'm open and I feel like I'm in a position to kind of, assist her or her assist me, I think we kind of play really good basketball that way.
Dion.
Dion Cash, Fox Sports. Do you think that for the 3 quarters, both of you ladies, that this was the best offensive game that you had as a unit? And I talked to you guys at the beginning of the year, and I thought it was, the synergy between you, Aaliyah, and Caitlin. Do you feel like you guys are kind of getting to that level now where you guys could be thought of as one of the best trios in the league?
I definitely think that we've kind of balanced out how we can all feed our games off one another, and it kind of plays in our favor because I don't think that we go out there with a mindset of I don't want to play with this person, I don't want to play with that person. I think that we play we gel really well naturally based on what we do individually and how we can accumulate it together as a group. But I would say us as a team, I think it's going to start to put the league on notice because our grit, our resiliency down the stretch of games, and I think that we can do better competing. But I think that we have been in the trenches enough to know that we can kind of win some of these games.
Best game of the season, well, for 3 quarters at least. You think it was the best?
I like 4 quarters. 3 quarters.
Yeah, you sure?
That's all I got.
3, okay.
Yeah, Caitlin, assists are one thing, but it just feels like how much pride do you take in setting your teammates up so perfectly with the precision of your passes and just it seems like they're not just assists, they're very special assists in that way. How much pride do you take as a point guard in doing that?
Yeah, it's so fun, just getting to pick apart the defense, especially when we get stops on defense and get to go in transition. I just get excited and honestly, a lot of my turnovers, that's where they come from, just trying to play exciting basketball in transition. But I don't know, at times I feel like I can almost overpass because I want to set them up so badly that I almost kind of lose vision of the basket at times, or I'm almost thinking to pass the ball and kind of forget about shooting it at times. But I don't know, I think it adds a whole other dimension of what the defense kind of has to scheme for is I'm going to try to set up my teammates the best I can, but at the same time I want to be able to score the ball. So the more I can do that, the better it's going to be for our team overall.
Matt and Kelsey.
Yeah, Caitlin, you were matched up with Celeste pretty often tonight. I guess what was that kind of like just to go up against your former teammate 3 weeks later?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm happy for her though. She's a tremendous player and obviously a tremendous person. And I had so much fun when she was here with us in Indy, and she was a heck of a teammate. And I think that's a great person to sign. She's somebody that's just going to work as hard as possible. Like, I know she just got with them yesterday, and I thought she honestly came out and played a really good game. She only had 1 point, but like she was a plus 10 in a game at a point where we're up 30. So that's just Celeste. Like, I've been her teammate multiple times. She's going to do a lot of different things on the floor and play as hard as she can. So I'm just really happy for her.
Last two, Kelsey and Kyle.
For both of you or either of you, we've talked about the highs and lows of this group. One of those lows was on Wednesday. Just what impressed you guys the most of being able to take one day off and come out and respond with a win?
I think this league is one of those leagues where you can't necessarily dwell on, past games, and I think all we could have done based on how we played Wednesday was kind of flush it. But I think it shows to that resiliency I was telling you guys about earlier, and that toughness. This game is mental more than it is physical. I always tell people that this is a mental game, and I think mentally we was able to switch focuses and turn our page to Friday, and I think it showed it in the game today.
Kyle, last one.
Caitlin, I talked with Brittany before the game, and she kind of just commended and applauded the way that you've been able to transition into the WNBA while also kind of handling the fame and attention that comes with it. Just to hear that from a veteran and an all-time great like that, what does that mean for you?
Yeah, it's super kind, and she said the same thing to me when we played in Phoenix earlier this year, and it's just something you appreciate. Like, as long as I've watched this league, like, she's been a staple in this league and been absolutely tremendous. So for her to say that, it's not something you take lightly, and just something I really appreciate.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.